Ryan Blaney is big mad, and we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly from the Daytona 500. All that and more coming up next. What's going on, everybody? If I haven't earned your subscription, hopefully today is the day that I will earn that subscription. All right. First things first, congratulations to Austin Cindric and the 2 team. They did what they had to do to win the race. I'm sure in Austin's mind, he felt like that move was the right move to make, even though he fenced his teammate and made contact with the 23. I'm pretty sure in his position, a lot of people would make the exact same move. So I'm not throwing any shade on him for that. However, I do not feel like his teammate feels the same way. But let's hear what Ryan Blaney had to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Last lap, got just good pushes on the bottom from the 23, and I was able to get Austin in front. And off before we were good enough to be able to make a move, and it got blocked, and I ended up getting fenced. So happy for Roger Penske, winning the 500 on his birthday. Happy for Jeremy Bullins and everyone that works on that 2 car. So just one of those things. It didn't work out. We still ended up 4th, but I don't know another perfect position we could have put ourselves in to win the race. Just didn't work out.
Got it. Ryan, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do off for once you 2 got clear?
Well, I made a decision of I wasn't going to make a move until I was 100% sure that one of our 2 cars was going to win.
Okay, so you can tell from that clip that Ryan Blaney is not super impressed with Austin Cindric, and you can say that because he thanked everybody that works on the 2 car. He thanked or was giving a shout out to Roger Penske and, the Penske organization, but he specifically did not mention Austin Cindric, and I do not think he was impressed with that move. And also, from his perspective, you have to think about he raced the guy clean. The guy did not help him in the duels. Like Austin Cindric was behind him in that duel and could have pushed him in front of Brad Keselowski, but he refused to do it. So all that stuff as a race car driver is in your mind. You've done everything you can do to help this guy, and he fences you, Ryan Blaney's words, at the end of the race. So there's definitely probably going to be a conversation there Monday where they talk about it, but Ryan Blaney is definitely big mad, and I think going forward you got to have that conversation, and if that conversation doesn't get results there at the first short track, you've got to rough him up and show him that, hey, that's just not going to fly. You're not going to fence me for a win. I don't care where it's at, because you have to get your respect. Like, he's a rookie. If you let him fence you for that win and you don't say anything or do anything about it, he is going to fence you, and other people are going to take notice of that, and they're going to fence you too. So unfortunately, this is one of those deals where you got to stand up for yourself. You can't be getting fenced by a rookie for the Daytona 500 and not do something about it. So believe it or not, that was the good. The bad was Fox's coverage and their commercials. Fox spent a third of the time in commercials. They were like 45 minutes out of a 2.5 hour coverage or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But I swear it was like every 5 minutes there was a commercial. And it was a full screen commercial. Like, it was commercial after commercial after commercial. I felt like I saw more commercials than I saw races. That being said, that wasn't the only issue. The booth was actually solid. The booth actually did a decent job. I was not, I don't have anything bad to say about the booth. The booth probably did a better job than the entire thing. It actually probably elevated some of the poor coverage. But the other thing were the camera angles. Once again, Fox is off of its game. They were off at the Coliseum. They were off here. They spent over half the race on in-car camera, which made you miss the vast majority of the wrecks, because every time there was a wreck, they were at an in-car camera or they had a terrible angle on it, and it took them forever to get a replay from one of their other cameras. I don't know what's going on, but the coverage has been poor so far, and this was I get it, you got to pay the bills, big NASCAR contract, but way too many commercials, at least full-screen commercials. They should probably go for more side-by-side commercials, because I felt like I watched just commercial after commercial after commercial, and that's just not going to fly in an era of streaming media. And now let's get to the downright ugly. Of course, the downright ugly is Brad Keselowski and the next-gen car part failures. Now, let's go with the part failures first. The part failures, there was a rear suspension link that broke for Tyler Reddick that sent him straight into the wall. And then let's talk about the rims. The rims were falling off, the lug nut deal. This was a big concern of a lot of people going to this one lug nut. They said, oh, the one lug nut will be good, it's better. But it showed its big weakness when you don't get it on there completely right. When there's a loose lug nut on this, the whole wheel falls off, whereas back in the day, you might have just had a wheel vibration with the 5-lug deal. So a lot of people were talking about that and how that's dumb. I think going forward, NASCAR will look at that and make it better. But we also had a rim crack and break in half on the 31 of Justin Haley. That's a really bad look. You can't have it breaking and cracking in half. I don't know exactly what happened there, but no matter what happened there, that is a terrible look. That was an awful look. So with any new car, there's going to be stuff like this, and also Harrison Burton flipping. A lot of people attributed that to the slick bottom of the car. Now, I don't know about that, but that's something NASCAR will have to look at going forward. But the other car they had for a long time, there was a lot of iterations on it. They made it better. It was almost to the point where it was, except for the racing, you know, the dirty air, it was almost perfect as a race car. This car, they will have to iterate and massage it and make it better as it goes. But for a first race, there were a lot, or actually this I guess is technically the second, or some people the fourth race if you count the duels. But for the fourth race, few things they need to look at and tighten up before they get to California. And the other ugly point, of course, was Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski at one point brought out over half of the cautions. He was being way too aggressive with the pushes, specifically to the right rear quarter panel. That's another thing that you can sort of lump in with this new car, but also with Brad. This new car, when it is being pushed from behind, does not like a car on its right rear quarter panel, and apparently everybody got the message and knew that after the first Brad Keselowski wreck, but Brad kept doing it, and he wrecked Harrison Burton first, and then he got Ricky Stenhouse, and then, you know, he was involved in one or two other ones, I think, as well. So he was an absolute terror on the racetrack, so that was also the ugly. And I understand in a sport where you want to err on the side of aggressiveness, well, he erred way too far on the side of aggressiveness today. And I understand it. He wanted to win this race for his dad. He had that 29 on his car. I get it, but today he was way too aggressive. All right, that is all I've got for you today. If you like the content, please feel free to subscribe down below. If you want to leave a comment, leave it down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Am I off? Am I right about some of this stuff? And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.